Hey everyone, this is Trainer. A few weeks ago, Umbreon Libris posted the idea of doing a video themed to Pokemon Home for the holidays and tagged me in it. I liked the idea, and after watching his video, I liked the idea even more. My style of channel is a little different though. I need a new avatar, but that is how I interact with you in my videos, and after a few preliminary questions to my family, it became clear I wouldn't really be able to get them on camera to reminisce, so I wanted to try something different. It's gonna get a tad personal, but I think we'll come through on the other side feeling like better, more complex people. Home is a very encompassing word. Different houses, buildings, people, and communities can be home. And I wanted to take that idea and talk about why Pokemon is part of what I consider my home in that broad sense of the word, and the impact it's had on my life. I will rarely have the opportunity to discuss this topic with you, and I think and hope I'm staying true to the spirit of Shed's topic idea by doing so. Next week, I have a normal video theory on Giratina and Arceus, so if you're not subscribed yet, it would mean a lot if you did so. That way you don't miss out when that or my other videos come out. Alright, so here it goes. I am kind of bad at casual human interaction. I always have been. I was an awkward kid who liked to read and got excited about century-old steam vessels and almost every subject except math. I was encouraged to develop that love for academia, which I am grateful for today, but at the time was horribly ostracizing. I never got into sports and was raised in a rather conservative household with a kind of stepfather who didn't like to work, which meant that my understanding of pop culture was skewed and limited from a combination of not being able to afford cable at times, not being interested, and the outright banning of certain media. For example, I wasn't allowed for the longest time to watch The Simpsons, Sabrina, or Buffy, which were all, to one degree or another, popular, and as a result, I was sort of a loner. So there's this little 8-year-old Bulba trainer with no friends who finds out about Pokemon. Real quick, I cannot remember what actually triggered my interest in Pokemon. I remember this commercial with this crazy bus driver crushing Pokemon into a Game Boy, but I don't remember if that was what actually made me want to play it. All I know is that my mom bought it for me before the end of that week. Anyway, there's this little 8-year-old Bulba trainer with no friends who somehow finds out about Pokemon, and things shifted a little. My life thus far isn't a Disney movie, so I'm not going to say that suddenly everything was different and I became popular and famous and prom king or whatever it is that popular kids do. But something happened in the months after Pokemon came out. It became popular. Obviously, that's why we're here, and this isn't a channel talking about politics or history or supernatural, because Pokemon remains a popular franchise today. And that popularity only exists because we can all agree that we like these little monsters. We might not agree about anything else. You, the person watching this video, may be diametrically opposed to everything else I like, but we agree about Pokemon. That was also true back then. That little Bulba trainer didn't suddenly have all of his problems fixed, but there was suddenly a bridge. It's kind of difficult to imagine now because cartridges have been encased in the handhelds for so long, but do you know what this meant back in the day? Like, I know there were other games with different colored cartridges, but this was the almost universally recognized symbol for I like Pokemon. Kids that normally wouldn't talk to me wanted to know who my starter was and who I had on my team. I still had my awkward lunches wrapped around a book, but sometimes someone would see the energy card I was using as a bookmark and want to see what other cards I had to trade. You think the TCG is popular now? Try the age before eBay and Amazon and saving up $4 to buy a booster pack and using every ounce of self-control you had not to open it that night, so you could do it at school the next morning and all be surprised together. Card reveals are fun, but there was something special about the live versions we used to have. The anime was still brand new too, and we all wondered exactly when Ash would catch certain Pokemon or become a Pokemon master, or we'd compare our own teams against his and think about how we might have done battles differently. And I don't want to pretend that my entire childhood social interaction rested solely on Pokemon, but once it broke the ice, I found it easier to interact with others. I started getting invited to play dodgeball and tag. I got invited to sleepovers and birthday parties. We discovered other shared interests and developed new ones. I owed all of that to Pokemon. My mom fed my obsession with Pokemon, I think because she was so happy to see me finally have friends, but also because, from her perspective, Pokemon was just harmless fun. My parents screened everything I watched and the video games I played, lest my young mind be exposed to something scandalous. And even they didn't see anything wrong with it. My church was combined with a daycare where my mom was an assistant manager, so I spent a lot of time there. The pastor, youth pastor, my mom, and a few secretaries and their families, myself included, were all close friends, and all of us kids were close. And despite the age differences, we almost all liked Pokemon, which is again a testament to how much of a bridge it was. However, that also meant that certain parents felt the need to take a closer look at it. My church, and by that I mean the parents of that core group I mentioned because they influenced everything in the congregation, didn't take a full stand against Pokemon, but some of the parents started passing around a pamphlet comparing the franchise to devil worship. Pokemon were supposedly demons because they are in tune with elemental stones. They were involved with the dreaded evolution, and because the entire thing came from a non-Christian country. It mentioned gambling and necromancy and witchcraft, polytheism, though they called it heathenism or something. It was a few pages of semi-racist, extremely xenophobic nonsense made up by people who I guess hate seeing kids have fun. It was fear-mongering, and in that conservative atmosphere, fear-mongering usually worked. If one of the parents thought something wasn't wholesome enough, they'd nitpick and gossip and scare the others until it was just generally agreed upon that the thing was bad. It didn't work with Pokemon. I know some of the other parents certainly didn't listen because a good percentage of us kids were still playing, but more importantly, my mom didn't listen. My mom reviewed the show, and there were episodes I wasn't allowed to watch, like Bulbasaur's Mysterious Garden because they mentioned moon phases, or Clefairy the Moonstone because they worship the Moonstone, or Mystery at the Lighthouse because we're afraid of heights, I don't know. But my mom saw that I had friends, that I was happier, that I actually had people to invite to my 9th birthday. So many, in fact, that she had to limit how many I could invite. I had never had that before, and she knew that that was far more important than some rash and blind judgment on a franchise that has never proven to lead to devil worship that I'm aware of. If you started worshiping the devil because of Pokemon, please let me know in the comments below. I feel it's important to note that Bulba Mom today is a very different person. She's incredibly supportive and has never made me feel anything less than loved and cared for. We left that environment when I was 13, and a lot of the reason why was more disagreements. I don't know that Pokemon was the first one, but I do remember that noticing that after Pokemon, she became a lot more receptive of my input on media over the opinions of the church group. I was allowed more liberty in the movies and TV shows I could watch. I was less limited in my video game choices and the friends I could have, and I was trusted to make my own decisions without prior approval. It was a cascade effect, a slippery slope like all those worried parents said it was, except it didn't end with me sacrificing goats or doing drugs. It ended with me being sociable and having friends. As I expanded my interest, I found more people to hang out with who introduced me to more cool things, and so on. Pokemon, more than anything, started that for me. Not every interest of mine was born from Pokemon either. I developed other interests and likes due to other experiences. I've been playing video games in general longer than Pokemon's been out, and Pokemon wasn't even my first obsession. But it is certainly one of the ones with the widest positive impact on my life. Like I said, life isn't a Disney movie. I still struggled with social anxiety, and my school years weren't super easy. Pokemon didn't make bullying go away, and I was still nerdy and awkward, but it helped, and it still does. It's still something that creates a bridge, a common interest. The way we show it may not be with the color of the cartridge sticking out of our Game Boys, but we still find each other. But we still talk about the same things, have the same debates, the same curiosity and defenses of starters and teams and anime battles. At the beginning, I said home can be a broad term. Home can be you with your dog curled up reading a novel on the couch. It can be 42 members of your extended family sitting around a table groaning with food. It can be your buddy's house, where once a week you stop what you're doing and play Call of Duty. It can also be a community, a group of people who get together for no other reason than they think Avatar: The Last Airbender is a masterpiece of animation. In that sense, Pokémon is certainly part of what I consider home. It's the main theme of this channel. It allowed me to connect with some truly amazing people that I'm happy to call friends, and even when it wasn't the direct catalyst, Pokémon helped me be more outgoing and develop other friendships. No, I don't live in a house themed entirely to Pokémon. I have friends that have never played or shown interest in it, and even though my mother still supports me, she's not a particular fan of the franchise, but Pokémon is still part of my home. In that broad sense, in the idea of home is where the heart is, some part of Pokémon will always be that concept for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, that's okay. This is a different topic than I normally tackle, and I can't expect everyone who subscribed to me to all of a sudden want to hear this sort of story, but I felt it was nice to get it out. I really like dredging up old memories and nostalgia, and like I said, I'll rarely have the opportunity to talk about this again. And don't forget, next week I have a video on Giratina and Arceus coming out, and I hope to see you all there for it. I will see you all next time. Thank you, stay safe, and have a happy new year.